I'll call this meeting to order. It is May 9th, 2024. It's 9:30. This is our regular business meeting and consent agenda. If you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I thought we moved them around.
Yeah, we moved them.
Oh my gosh.
When we did that presentation.
I know. How are you? Lovely. How are you today?
Okay.
Good. I'm gonna work in my yard, hopefully. That is lovely.
Okay, any changes to the consent agenda? No, there's none. Okay, old business, consideration and decision of minutes of the Commissioners' public agenda session for April 22nd through April 26th. I would like to table those. I wasn't here. Commissioner Chairman David Dose and Commissioner Cassidy were here. So we can do that at the end, or we can do that now. I'll go ahead and do a motion to table the minutes for April 22nd through April 26th.
Okay. Oh, second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, those have been tabled. Okay, the minutes for April 29th through May 3rd. I've reviewed them. Have you reviewed them?
Yes.
Okay. All motion that we approve the minutes from April 29th through May 3rd.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, those carry. New business, consent agenda. We do have beer and wine licenses. And it looks like we have two. One is St. Joe Resort, LLC, doing business as the Big Eddie Bar and Grill, Big Eddie Resort, Big Eddie. And Shoshone Golf and Tennis Club, Inc., Shoshone Golf and Tennis Club. Okay. Have you reviewed those?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Okay, Shoshone County Payables, we've reviewed those.
Yes.
Cancellation of homeowners insurance, we have a couple of those. We have David Bishop, and it's a cancellation of homeowners exemption. We have Heidi Ray Brooks, and it's a non-dwelling cancel half-year solid waste. The roof's caved in. We have per assessor bill in error for Ryan Dixon. And you reviewed those as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we have a resolution 24-18 authorizing the distribution of grant funds, and that has to do with ILAD. And this is for requesting funds for Brittany Jacobs for $273 for the month of February. Ben Allen, $273.60. They're both $273.60 for the month of February. Brittany Jacobs, $179.70 for the month of March, and Benjamin Allen, $179.70 for the month of March. Okay, have you reviewed those? And due to the recent decision we received, legal opinion, I don't see a problem with these. So, you've reviewed those as well?
Yeah, I believe they're okay.
Okay. Now we have a Westlaw subscription renewal, and I'm not really sure what if this it's got our prosecutor's name on it. So I'm not real sure if this is the one that we were going to talk about for the public that we may be canceling or maybe renewing. We haven't really discussed it as a board yet.
Right, and I would like to table that one because I want more review into it and what it's actually providing if we're going to spend.
And I'm not sure if this is for our prosecutor or for the public, so I think it's a good idea that you want a motion, or I guess we can just note that when we when we go through our consent agenda at the end. Okay, we'll go on to the next item. Okay, we have a fiscal year 2024 FTA certifications and assurances. Is that, would you explain that a little bit more?
Absolutely. So this is our annual, it's for the Silver Express bus. And so the funding that we receive to keep the bus going is federal transit. So that's the FTA. And that's a pass-through through the state of Idaho. And then we have that 2-year congressional application that we do every year.
Okay.
So, or every 2 years. So this is annually, we just go through, and that's, the full packet that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've reviewed that. There was no changes from last year other than the change of the date. And it just says that we're going to operate the bus in the guidelines set forward by the FTA. So
Okay.
There were no changes, and
Okay.
we are in compliance with all of those.
Okay, I read through it as well. Have you had time to do that?
I did.
Okay. So I'll set that here. I'm getting kind of a mess for you, Sydney.
Okay.
So we have a statement of cash balances from the treasurer's office. The county treasurer statement of cash balance as of 4/30/2024 was $19,739,173.11. And then please note that this statement does not include outstanding warrants that have been issued in the amount of $668,051, or $668,551.26. And you've reviewed that. Okay. I need signatures. And we have an RICIF award acceptance. And this looks like this is for the upgrade of the electrical system up in Murray for the new, is it the...
It's the power upgrade that we did the presentation for the
is
other
it
week.
New Jersey?
Idaho Strategic Resources.
Idaho, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've made a concerted effort in not calling New Jersey anymore.
Okay.
And so it's, we were awarded the full $430 for it. The only changes from the application were that they reduced the administration from $12,000 to $9,500, but they moved that into the actual upgrade cost. So we still receive the full amount, but they decreased that admin because we don't have to go out to procurement. We didn't have to go out to bid for an administrator. We're going to do that in-house, so they'll have that $9,500 for our time here to administer.
Okay.
And then the remainder that goes to the power upgrades for.
Yeah, and they kind of indicated that if there was a remaining balance from our administration, that they would pick it up from our. So that's good. Okay. You have any questions on that one?
No.
No. I thank you for stepping in on that and guys getting that one done. Okay. The next one is Jim Grant Award Acceptance. Okay, if our grant administrator would.
Absolutely. So we applied for a GEM, gosh darn, I can't remember what GEM stands for, but it's a grant through Idaho Commerce meant to help communities through, different types of projects that will help with economic development. And so a part of it was doing the parking lot of the North Fork.
Okay.
So this was awarded to do the planning and any of the pre-work that needs to be done to do the expansion planning in there. So we were awarded $50,000 for that with the no match. We have the scope and the timelines to be done this year.
Okay. Now on these, just for a consideration, do they allow administrative costs?
No.
They don't. Okay.
No, it's expressly prohibited in the grant application.
Okay. Okay. All right. And you've had time to review that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll set that aside here. Okay, Area Agency on Aging contract modification.
So good news, bad news scenario.
Okay.
Good news, we were able to increase the contract again. And in conversations with Area on Aging, we went back the federal fiscal year back to October, and I produced how many riders, boardings is what it's called on the contract, that we were not paid for through the contract, and they went retroactive on that up to a certain point. She goes, wow, we can't pay for all those, but we'll do our best. So the contract modification, good news, is they gave us an additional $12,000 and allowed us to bill in arrears. So we were able to go back to October and bill almost all of those riders that were not billed previously. So this next billing will do, my pages here. We'll be able to bill them $2,900 instead of the, we were only able to do $2,000 in the last contract modification. Now we're $2,900 through the remainder of this year. So May and June boardings. So we'll bill June and July for May and June boardings and be able to do that. The retro, we were able to bill 3,400 previous boardings that were not paid for. So that's $10,200 that we'll be able to bill, $13,000 on this next billing to put back into the bus. And then the next 2 months will be $2,900 with the contract modifications. The bad news is they were not funded to do transportation going forward. So unless a miracle happens, which it did, because last year they decreased us down to 33 riders a month. So we were only able to bill basically $100 a month to Area on Aging until they did the contract modification in September. So we'll keep putting out good vibes in the universe that they get some funding for that. But at this time, Area on Aging will not have funding to help us with the bus going after June.
Okay.
All right.
Is there anything that we can do to seek help with that?
No.
Okay.
I've been, whatever we need to do, support letters, and it's just
Okay.
the funding process that they didn't receive enough to fund transportation this next coming year, as far as they know. That's the writing on the wall.
Okay. The Panhandle Health, is that, I mean, have they, because I know they have that, they brought in that program where seniors helping seniors, and is there anything that they can?
I'll investigate it.
Okay.
We have Don Duffy coming up, and I have some other things I'm discussing too with him, but I'll also bring that up. And then unfortunately, they've cut a lot of our senior programs and staff.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a chunk. But we've gone up from $100 to $2,900, and now we'll go back to potentially zero. So
Okay.
we'll have to pay attention to those.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do you want to? I'll motion. We want a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of tabling Westlaw subscription.
And the minutes of the.
Yeah, we already did the minutes earlier.
Oh, that's not in the new business party. Yep. Okay. So that was your motion.
I can. Okay, I'll motion approve the consent agenda, removing the Westlaw subscription and tabling it for the next time that we have on the. We'll do it.
Yeah. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The consent agenda passed. Okay, now we go to public comment.
Oh, start with
Okay.
me. Well, I have one good thing to say. I am impressed that we do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
I think it's great. But I just wanted to hear what was all going on and stuff, and I'm here, so.
Okay, well, thank you for coming. Okay. Mr. Venier?
2-3 weeks ago, there was a meeting for the emergency approval for Moon Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I came to that meeting. I was amazed that the information that was presented to the newspaper was never presented in this meeting, in the meeting we had. An hour later, Facebook had it that we were getting, or had put in for $100,000 LTAC, which was never said in the meeting. Also, that there was no bids had to be gotten by emergency. That was on Facebook. Why do you come to meetings for instead of just reading the newspaper if they're going to tell stories afterwards? The other day, the airport, and I did go back and review the tape, so. The other day, yesterday I think it was put in that DOS negotiated the contract for the Forest Service, and you guys appointed them to do that. Never happened in a meeting. It was left with Randy was supposed to be talking to him. So I don't know what's going on, if this is going on has to be going on in your offices, but stuff needs to change. It's the same way it used to be. The consent agenda. I have a real argument with putting all this stuff on here. Robert's rules, routine matters such as appointments to committees is consent. Paying bills, approving donations, staff appointments that only need certification, reports provided for information only, strategic procedures, correspondence requiring no actions. Which might make sense to you guys, which 4 years ago, I did a public records request for the commissioner's bylaws. By code, it doesn't say may, it says shall have bylaws. You guys still have no bylaws on how to run meetings. I know it was brought up one time that Tammy said that we can't go by Robert's rules.
Yes, you did.
Take a look at the ambulance service district's bylaws. It's quoted in Robert's rules and done by Brittany Jacobs. And trying to make comments on all this stuff, there's no way you can do it in 2 minutes. No way. I don't know if this deal with Ben and Ben and Brittany get money, is that the stop grant?
That is the grant, that's the ILID, I believe. The ILID grant, is that what that was?
Yeah, Idaho Law Enforcement
Yeah.
Diversion Program.
Which, by the way, I've been doing this 6-7 years. I don't remember that coming in front of the board. Could have been, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was awarded last year. We're almost a year into the project, so the grant came through this is now done by resolution rather than memo. We've been doing that this year with the memo.
I guess my question, was it done in a meeting or was it done in a consent agenda?
Oh gosh, I don't
Because
remember
if it
that,
was
but I
done
know
in
it
a
was,
consent, it never got talked about, so.
I see your point on the consent agenda.
It looks to me like everything's poured into one day just because commissioners want to take 4 days off. Never, since you guys have been in office, has there been this packed with stuff for one day that I remember.
Okay. I'll take note of that.
That's it, thank you.
That's it? Okay. All right, and then just to explain more on the Moon Pass event, but that's going on right now, is we are in the process of working with FEMA, and FEMA is, they're in conversations with FEMA to see if we can get FEMA funds to help with paying for our Moon Pass incident, the road closure. So apparently we did get $100,000 from LTAC. That won't be enough to open the road. FEMA is going to step in. This morning they have a phone call with FEMA. So basically, we're kind of on a standstill right now until FEMA makes a decision that, hey, they're going to help us. And if they do fund it, we'll let everybody know. But that's where we're at on that. So, any other questions on that?
Did you say 11 or 100,000? I missed it. How much LTAC is it?
$100,000. $100,000 with LTAC. Yep. You have anything further, Commissioner Cassidy?
Don't.
Okay. No, and we do not have any indigent cases, so we'll adjourn the meeting.